had to know. It's been a year and a half since I started this crazy thing, and I've still got one question I constantly ask myself. Did I really experience it the same way other people did? I mean, people went on and on about this all the time. Half my comments are asking me about this. So finally, I've decided I need to know the truth. Oh, wow. So that's what colors look like. That shit's yellow? Ew. Yeah, let's go back to black and white. Hey everybody, it's BaronJ, and I'm just gonna stop you right off the bat and tell you, yeah, this is not anime. I know, it's fine. It's just been a while since I've done anything else, and I have a lot of things to say about this thing. So recently, my poor old phone was on its deathbed, and I've been doing a lot of filming and stuff with it, so I needed an upgrade. Luckily, I was 2 months overdue for one, and I went to the store and got myself a fancy new Galaxy S7. It's great, I love it. I even got a 64 gig SD card for free, and this thing, now I know it looks like an incredibly ineffective jockstrap, but let me tell you, this little plastic doohickey will transport you into the realm of virtual reality. Now, I've messed around with an Oculus Rift and even Google Cardboard, and there are pros and cons to all of these, but I will say, out of the three, the VR takes the cake for me. The main thing is the price point. Google's Cardboard is essentially free, but, you know, it's made of fucking cardboard. The Oculus Rift is somewhere in the median of $400 to $800, and you have to have a fairly decent rig for it to work well. Now, you have to have the Galaxy Note 5, Galaxy S6, S6 Edge, S7 Edge, or S7. Some of those will vary depending on your carrier. This will cause most rational people to raise an eyebrow when I mention the price point. See, I did a deal where you get the VR free with the S7 on an upgrade or just buying it outright, so I lucked out there. But you could easily do the same thing for a lot less than the Oculus. The Note 5 and S6 can be bought unlocked for anywhere between $400 to $500, and then the VR is just an extra $100 on top of that. Hell, go to a pawn shop and see if they've got one. I stopped by one for purposes of this review and found an S6 Edge for like $150 with tax. That's like a decent $300 VR set, man. So let's get it out of the box. The thing's easy enough to set up. The straps go in here, and the first thing you're going to want to do is put your phone in and put the headset on, follow the dialogues, and then take it off, and then wait for a bit. Yeah, I know you basically have to turn it on and then turn it back off again, but you get like 5 games for free, but they need to install along with updates and all that nonsense, but believe me, it's worth it. Once it's all said and done, you may want to do a couple of things first. 1, clean the hell out of your lenses and phone screen. I can't tell you how many times I've been in this fascinating realm of possibility this week, only to notice that there's a smudge on the lens I cannot unsee. They do make sprays to prevent this, though. 2, make sure your phone is charged or on a charger. Shit uses a lot of battery, yo. 3, for the love of God, put on clothes. You do not want to be caught buck-ass naked with this thing strapped to your head. Or maybe you do. It's your life, man, not mine. So once you're all set up, plug in some headphones and put this sucker on your head. There's a little diddly-do to adjust the focus, but the main issue you run into is the positioning of the headset. If you're a little bit too much up or down on your forehead, the edge of your eyesight gets blurry. You gotta adjust the straps to make sure this doesn't move around too much. The main menu is pretty cool. It puts you in this sweet futuristic sublet that seems straight out of a 90s textbook on the future of computers. The menus are fairly easy to navigate, but as you're not really able to see the touchpad, you'll end up hitting the wrong button a bit until you get used to it. The first thing I did was look at some 3D picture tours of places. Notably, the Japan one was pretty sweet. Then there's some videos and movies you can watch. YouTube has a lot, and so does the Samsung Milk VR app. The movie app also has films you can watch in different virtual theaters too. Here we are in space. Here is where you would be a bug watching a movie. This is just tiny. So yeah, let's see what we've got going on in the obvious game department. So there's the Samsung Arcade where you can play a bunch of games in an arcade, basically. It's pretty awesome. This one is called Darknet, and it's about hacking. More like a puzzle game, really. But it does genuinely give you this feeling of like, I'm hacking into the Pentagon, or I'm just DDoSing Ya for the billionth time. Hooray! No anime for anyone. Then there's Hero Bound. This game is a little bit like Zelda, but with you looking at the rooms from the upper corner. This one is really fun, and it has a lot of interesting gameplay elements so far. Now, since I got this and wrote this review, there's probably still stuff coming out, but at the moment, the store selection is still kind of slim. But, you know, stuff gets released every week, and there's always something to do. Mainly, the thing that I've gotten the most mileage mileage out of, surprisingly, is the Netflix app, which puts you in a quaint mountain home where you can watch, whatever. The important feature is the Samsung integrated Void Theater, where you can have the screen follow you wherever your head moves. What this basically means, and this is about to blow your mind, is that you can lay down and watch Netflix comfortably. It's awesome. You don't have to move your head around to face the screen or anything like that. You just put your head back on your pillow and the screen follows you there. It's amazing. Now, there's a good question a lot of people ask, and this is the question I asked when I got it. Is there any sort of connectivity for PC gaming? The good answer is yes, there is. There's a few third-party apps that transmit your Gear VR as an Oculus Rift or just mirror your screen. The bad news is I can't speak for their effectiveness because I haven't gotten one working yet. A lot of early adapters have reported latency issues with anything other than USB, but you can't do that with the Gear VR. You can only plug it in directly into the headset. However, the possibility is still there. So now that I've given you the rundown, other than the issue of positioning I've already mentioned, you can run into a little bit of screen banding when moving your head around. The other issue at the moment is the closed gate app store they've got going on. There's a plethora of third-party VR apps on the web store, but currently you can only use things that are on its official store. There are methods of sideloading other apps into the store, but hopefully they open this up at a later date. Now, there's one main pro of the Gear VR that a lot of the other VR headsets don't have going for them, which is this. It's only about an hour of battery life, but with this, the ability to unplug the system and having the freedom to move around without a cable dragging part of your head down is the greatest thing I could have imagined. So yeah, I'm happy I managed to grab one of these when I could. If you want a great entry-level start into the world of virtual reality, then I'd say pick up the VR if you can. Keep in mind you'll have to have one of the newer Galaxy series phones for it to work, but you can always grab an unlocked one to make it work out for a slightly more affordable standalone set, especially if you're curious to see what the future really has in store. Greetings from the year 3000. This is the end of the video. Over here is the subscribe button, and over there is my Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch channel. Up in the left-hand corner, you can find shirts. And over on the right-hand corner, you'll find a link to my audiobook. Well, I'll tell you a story for 10 hours at a time. Apologies for not doing an anime this week, guys, and I was working doubles all week at work, and I had some family issues come up, so I decided just to kind of lay low for a week. But, I'll always be back next week to make another one. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.